Hey there, we are ready to start looking at all things 2024, the year of the dragon. And this video, we are going to talk about presidential candidates for the United States with a little info about a world leader in this video thrown in too. Hi, it's Lydia Nitya with Karma Chameleon, and on this channel we often talk about celebrities and famous people to better understand our own charts and our own lives, and we cover all things feng shui, flying stars feng shui, and we are happy to have you here. Please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. I have lots to say about this coming year of the dragon. So in the next couple months, I will be unveiling lots of videos. We're starting with this one, talking about the astrology of the presidential candidates. Now, this is a year in advance, really. When we get to summertime next year, I will have far more information, and we will have more information too. The race is too fresh, and I'd like to say that our brought to you by whatever corporation, the news, tells us that there's two people. And that's the only thing that's going to happen. Like the ballot is already written. It is not. It is not. You know, I often say, be very careful what your news source is. And be very careful that you aren't just being blindly told what they want you to believe is the reality of our world, when it simply is not. And astrology, if nothing else, gives us this inside understanding of the subtle qualities impacting these people that has nothing to do with what we may be seeing. It's what is going on under the hood, as I call it. And for instance, you can see somebody that is showing up to work every day, looks like they've got their shit together, and they're falling apart inside. So, just saying, this is what we look at inside of Joe Biden's chart. His chart very much mirrors right now the chart of the United States, in that his luck cycle is in conflict with his day master, and this is a battle of ox and sheep. And for somebody of his age, and the fact that he's a yin fire person, this really speaks of somebody who, you know, is in a luck cycle with a lot of earth draining him. In addition to that, there are other factors going on that I would say it's kind of shaky. It's kind of shaky. You know, you have to recognize the life force of a human being is not meant to go endlessly. We have ebbs and flows. We have good years, we have bad years, and ultimately we get to a point where our life force is waning. And that's the case in this situation. 2024, the dragon sits in Joe Biden's career. This is the source of his power and leadership, and it's greatly threatened in 2024. The dragon's going to bring notable change and a shift in his career, and it's just not sustainable. Okay? In fact, his entire hour pillar, branch, and stem is a yang wood dragon, just like the year. This can also impact his children. Not going to get into that, but you know who I'm talking about. The whole Ukraine thing, it's a mess. There's a story there we may never know. All right. So, legal matters, the government, his job as president, outside resources, banking, all of these things, not favorable for 2024. It is not his year. I'm sorry. So, I'm going to make a brief mention about Kamala Harris. I feel like I have not seen or heard much at all from her. She's got a very unfortunate chart. She's born in the year of Yangwood Dragon, and she has a dog in her career hour and month. This is a very conflicted chart. And for her 2024, it looks inflamed with conflict, adversity, and a lot of change in her career. Nikki Haley. Now, I will say there are so many of these people that there is no birth time for, which is their career. It does not give us a full picture at all. And I feel impaired as an astrologer to give a full view without it. So Nikki Haley is one, Bobby Kennedy Jr. is another. So if you know these people's birth times, please let me know. So Nikki Haley, born January 20th, 1972. She's born before the Lunar New Year, so it's technically 1971. She's afflicted next year with the Day of the Dog, showing the dragon directly challenging her welfare. It is not a good omen for her. Donald Trump, born June 14th, 1946. 9:54 in the morning. He is also suffering with the same clash to his day master as President Biden, this ox-lux cycle challenging his sheep. But this November, he shifts away from this obstacle, which has involved so much. It has been all like this past 10 years for him. It's just been one giant conflict with his family, with lawsuits, and this polarized love-hate relationship with the public. So he's moving into a yang water tiger. And he has a really weird chart. Trump has a Zhao bird, fire dominant chart. Very rare. I mean, his chart is very rare. He's got no water and a full fire trio with his snake, dog, and sheep. This is someone who has more than 50% of his own element of earth, supported by about 40% fire. Like his whole chart is almost entirely what supports him and himself. This is how you wind up with somebody who is so intensely narcissistic. You know, it's built into him that it is all about him, right? And I've talked about this with Kanye West, with Kim Kardashian, countless other celebrities. People that tend to get into the public often have a very inflated ego. Just an interesting comment. The enemy of this chart is water, and that is what is flowing in. The water coming in with this new Lux cycle is unwelcome. The tiger joins with his dog and horse to create a seasonal fire trio. So there's a lot of wealth and property and family and work and a demanding life all there for the next 10 years. But see, the thing is that tucked inside the tiger is more lawsuits, a loss of wealth, and legal woes. And the tiger even further intensifies legal problems with his hour of the snake, directly impacting his career. And this is the narrative for the next decade. So when you've got a forecast saying, okay, all of these lovely things are there for you. Ooh, we've got property and riches and beautiful work, but whoosh, it all gets crashed. It's like it dissolves in this conflict. And I've talked endlessly about that punishment of the snake and the tiger, and all you've got to do is throw in a monkey year to make it complete. I don't even know if he's going to be on the ballot in 2024. So I don't know what the news is saying that this is the Republican candidate. I don't think it is yet. I think there is so much more to this presidential election than we have even realized yet. I will say this, the year 2024, with Putin having 2 dragons in his chart and it being a dragon year, and this is where I said I was going to insert another world leader, there are going to be giants that will fall. I really believe. I think it is a year of dramatic shifting in our world order of leaders. And my prayer is that we can get to a place of the age of Aquarius, right? Where we can align with people that have far more compassion and ingenuity, and forethought about our future, starting with this planet. Yeah, so Bobby Kennedy Jr., Marianne Williamson's next on this little list of mine, born July 8th, 1952 at 2:53 in the morning. Her chart, unfortunately, is embattled in 2024. She is born in the year of the Yang Water Dragon. That's where all of her strength and leadership comes from, even though she's a predominantly yin person. Her hour of the ox shows someone who's exceptionally hardworking, dedicated, and honest. Her chart is nearly all yin. She's soft, she's passive, she's feminine, she's nurturing. She's born in the year of the Yang Water Dragon. Her day is the day of the rabbit, like Ron DeSantis. Shows someone that is often motivated by the urge to restore order, negotiate towards agreeable conclusions, make amends, but they can also be arrogant and condescending. I mean, there's a dark and a light side. You know, you've got a dark rabbit and you got a light rabbit. So there you go. Dark, light. Marianne Williamson, Ron DeSantis. I don't know that I've ever seen her be condescending or arrogant. Just saying. So Marianne's chart is mostly balanced except for weak ruler, the element of metal, which helps support her career. And 2024 predicts a year of learning to play new roles, of finding support, funding, prospering, and travel. Could be a pretty profound year for her. I'm not going to hold any judgments on Marianne Williamson just yet. Bobby Kennedy Jr., like Nikki and Ron, we need birth times to see their career. This is a chart that's very yin, which is interesting for a man. And we find a man who is tapped into that traditionally feminine side of nurturing and compassionate, soft and yielding, and more passive. Born in the year of the yin water snake and a yin water rooster day. Now I've talked, in these first videos, the year of the dragon, you do not want to have the day of the dragon. The year, not as bad of an affliction. The worst is the enemy, which is the dog. So when the dog shows up in your day, it is a direct hit to you. Just like if you're born on a dragon day, but even worse. And this is a disruption to your romantic relationship, and it's a direct hit to your welfare. Also, if it's your career in your hour, that's where you're going to see a shakeup in your career happening. I often see in charts if an afflicted animal shows up in your month, that often parents pass away. Okay? And so you're looking at all the 4 pillars. The animals that are doing the best next year, monkey, rat, and rooster. So Bobby Kennedy, of all the candidates, is the only one that has an exalted chart that feels very strong to me, with having the day of the rooster. We find someone who observes, intuits, and knows, as in sensing with an inner knowing, and he speaks his truth. This is someone who demands a stage, an audience, and attracts attention. I would keep your eyes on this guy, because Bobby Kennedy Jr. could be what I have been intuiting is the biggest message of 2024. It is the year of the disruptor. It's the year of individuals coming onto the world stage that have a vision. This is not disrupting for the sake of disrupting. It's not making noise just to make noise and get attention. It's making noise to get attention, to speak a message that is for the good of all. And that's different. And that's what I'm saying. I really think that we're going to start to move into a period where more world leaders are going to be forced to recognize we cannot go on as we have been. So, how do we heal and unify the toxic political polarization that has gripped the United States for too long? We look for the disruptor. And we look for the disruptor, again, that is working towards good for all. Not for themselves, but good for all. And it's not paid for by anybody, but people following them. We've got to break out of this bought and sold presidential elections. And I'm so excited to see what's going on. So as I wrap this video up, I want to say that next summer, as we are seeing a more defined list of who is running, and we now have a third party runner, candidate, that then we're going to look at what are the days of the big debates. What is the forecast of the astrology for election day, which I have to say is the crappiest schedule ever, because the election almost always falls on the cusp of a month, which I don't like because it shows shakiness. It's right at the cusp of October and November. And the year of the dragon, oh my God, come on. Can you imagine a crazier lineup? Yeah. So this is going to be a big one, friends. And I'm excited. I would say find your party, find your candidate, get behind somebody, and make sure that that person's message resonates with not only your own values, but how you see the collective, right? We are not one person. We are a we, right? How do we have illness? Illness starts with the letter I. How do we have wellness? It starts with the W-E. It's we. We make wellness. I makes illness. Yeah, all of that. I'm excited for 2024, and there's more videos coming out soon, so please stay tuned. Again, subscribe, follow, ring that bell. You don't want to miss a single one, and until next time, be well.